Hey everyone, this is Alaska from the Call Out Culture podcast. I'm talking today because I want to talk about Anchor, which is the podcast hosting site that we use. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, it's something you should definitely look into. One, because of the great price, it's free. There's also creation tools that allow you to record, edit your podcast. You can do it right from your phone or your computer. Now you can even add songs from like Spotify directly into your episodes. So there's like endless possibilities on what you could create, and whether it's like music analysis or your own radio show or something that nobody's ever done before or the world's never heard before. Anchor will also help distribute your podcast so you can be heard on all of the major podcast carriers, including Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, blah, 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 all the other ones. You should definitely look into this. You can also make money. There's no minimum listenership. You can do advertising. You can do sponsorships. It's basically everything you need to make your podcast in one place. So do yourself a favor. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get yourself started. Thanks again for listening to Call Out Culture.
Welcome to Call Out Culture podcast with Alaska, Curly Castro, and Zilla Rock.
So, ready? 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Call Out Culture podcast.
You know, it's weird, y'all. He's gonna put that damn countdown in there. Like, oh man, it's like, this is like 30
I
Rock.
do all the edits.
This is like 30 Rock. We let them see a little bit behind the curtain.
People appreciate that about the show. You know,
not the 3, 2, 1s
the
in
Twitter, the IG, the Patreon.
Alaska, you know what he does that drives me insane? So we have engineers, we have recorders, we have people that record our music, we have people that can manipulate our voice any way we want. Correct. But no, Zilla likes to do his own reverb, and leave it in the song.
You mean
he'll
also
do
for
that.
The ads I do, where I engineer
and then
and mix all the ads except for the Jason Griff ads?
Reverb on it. He keeps himself saying, like he does his own fade out.
Yeah, of course I do. I'm an engineer.
No. You don't use the machines to do it. You use your mouth to do it, and you leave it in the song.
It's been a while, but yeah, sure. It's cool. It's endearing to people. It's got a charm.
No,
a je ne sais quoi.
Naughty. Nah, that's naughty by nature. 98. It's like 98. It's 98ish. That's hey man. I don't want to pay Jerry. Just do it yourself.
It's actually always a homage to Simian Drugs. No, Simian Drugs.
What part?
When he says, I can't say because my family's upstairs, but I love good girls, but trifling keep my hard.
Oh, okay.
Hard. Burn. Simian Drugs. Yeah, anyway.
Do you wish that Ill Bill had a verse instead of that talking?
He rhymes on Simian Drugs.
Yeah, he
raps. Microsoft. You something would have no fans.
What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Tune Mass, or am I thinking of PDA? Where he talks. Where's the song he talks?
Maybe Squeegee Man or Tune Master. He just talks.
Oh, you thinking about the one where R.A. the Rugged Man talks?
No. Ill Bill talks. Right. Ill Bill talks.
There's a song where Ill Bill talks, right?
Getting, he says he's like it's the rap. He says the rap. User Van Kokage getting my
dick sucked in the elevator by midgets, coke heads.
Yeah.
What song is that?
It's on Fandam.
Okay, you sure it's not like Simple?
It's early on the record.
DPA or anything like that? Okay.
No, because RA is on. He's on Fun Crusher, right?
Yeah, Population Control.
He's on Population Control, right? But
Ill
Bill is on Fandam, right?
He's just talking, like he's not like rapping.
Yes, yeah. I'm pretty sure you're right. It's either Tune Mass Damper or Squeegee Man, maybe.
Yeah, but that's an ill way to get away with putting RA on your record and not having rapping. Because if he was rapping the way, I don't know if that would work. Yo, Alaska, was he like rugged? Was he like cool adjacent? Like, were y'all feature him on stuff, or was that like not fitting y'all style?
Wait,
back then.
We're talking about Ill Bill or
no, Rugged Man. All right.
I never met Rugged Man in my entire life.
You never bumped into him with all of that.
No.
And the Kubrick.
Was he on anybody's like radar to get like a feature?
Like,
he'd be good on this track, or
no, not that I know.
Long Island, right? He was in Long Island.
Wasn't he? He was in Long
Island. Nobody get more rowdy than Suffolk County.
Yeah.
No, I just know he had a particular
style. Dibs, but I'm not messing with R.A. the Rugged. Oh, yeah.
You're bugging.
Because
we need to get him on the show.
what RA got a lot of
No, I like RA. I was just joking. You know, he used to be Crucified Dibs, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
With Percy P. Percy P gives him a lot of power, and that's when I got into him because of Percy P talking about him a lot. Then I went, found the Biggie song and all that good stuff. But it was, I'm a Percy P fanatic.
Yep.
He thinks I'm kind of
irrational.
It's
irrational.
He thinks I'm irrational.
Speaking of talking, tonight we're gonna talk to Jason Griff, and we're waving to his children, and they're showing off kittens. What's up?
What up?
Back in the
That's your oldest.
That's
not your oldest.
House.
That's your second oldest.
Second oldest, yeah.
Second oldest.
Yep, I got it.
Any more cats you can just pull out of a
No,
bag?
and soon, Griff, you give me the rest of the year. I'm gonna have all the names, and I'm gonna know the names.
All right.
I'm the friend that knows everybody's kids' names.
You can pick a favorite.
Like Alaska is Emily.
Wrong.
I said Alaska.
Bernadette. Yeah, Bernadette.
No, it's not Emily.
It's not Emily.
Susan.
Wait.
Let
me work my way
Betsy.
through.
Patricia?
Why am I thinking Emily? Is there a reason I'm thinking Emily?
And you got a letter,
First
right?
letter is right.
First letter. Okay,
Yep.
thank you. Right.
Yeah.
Ernestine.
Ernest.
Yes, you got it, Ernestine.
Yeah, she's also an overtime nurse.
She's my grandma too.
She's also my grandma. It's a weird. It's a weird.
I'll come back.
It's like it's basically like Tenant. Like
it's Tenet. Yes, she's the daughter, or like Interstellar, where the kid
I'm gonna
is
be
80.
the guy. Dad, your
80s.
rap friends are here. When all your kids are teenagers,
Yeah,
I'm still dressing in baggy clothes.
my son asked me that. He's
Dad,
like,
your
my son was
rap
like, we were in the
guy
car. He
friends
was like, Dad, why do you rap? Why did you be a rapper? And I was like, because I love music. It's great. I said, what do you like to do? He's like, ride my bike. I was like, right. And when you start riding your bike, doesn't it make you just want to do it all the time? He's like, yeah. I was like, that's how I want music. That's how I like to rap and do songs. He's like, just don't do that. I was like, all right. He's like, because when you do it, you don't play with me. You're always
that was gonna say.
all right, 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
10 more minutes. 10 more
Takes
minutes.
time
I
away.
gotta work. I gotta record. And I'm like, bro, we still play together every day. It's okay. It's quite all right.
You do it, Dad. You don't play with me.
I'm like, bro, I'm banging out classics here. 2-3 takes max. Give me a break. When I say 10 minutes, that's 2 songs.
This guy with the 445 recording. 445 to 448 was the season. He could record for 3 minutes.
I'll make it
quarter
work,
to 5.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what works is Jason Griff and his new album.
Fireside Chats.
Fireside Bandcamp Best Albums of May.
And y'all don't even know the CD comes with some kindling and a wick. So you can make your little fire, but please follow the directions.
Yeah.
Be safe.
And then
Only
an
fires.
authentic patch of quilt from FDR. You get a laminated piece of quilt. From
FDR. It comes with a job from FDR.
Just a job application.
Yeah,
job application. It goes into a file. But, just so you can feel
you, man. So congrats to Griff, man. It's a great record, man. I'm happy to be. All of us are a part of it. And we're happy it's getting the recognition, the accolades, the sales, you know what I mean, the following, the flowers.
So let's start there. What's your reaction to the reaction, Griff?
It's been far exceeded what I expected. So yeah, I mean, it feels great, coverage and recognition from sources that had never covered anything I've ever done before. So, there's levels to this shit. And there was definitely some level ups happening with this one. So that's great. It's always kind of surreal when people take like the time to like analyze your shit and then like talk about it, like how they interpret it. And, you feel like almost a little uncomfortable about it sometimes, but it's also like really awesome that somebody takes the time and really just analyzes it.
Ooh,
This is your first solo project in a sense in a while, right? Like
other than beat tapes, first compilation album. Like when I first started making beats, like that was my idea. Like I don't know any rappers, so I'm just gonna go online and find a bunch of rappers and get one song from each of them and just make a compilation album. And as we all know, the more rappers you work with, the more impossible the project is to complete.
Correct.
Because it always seems like a daydream of producers to like, I'm gonna get one good song, from all the people I work with. But I also have come to find out that sometimes it doesn't always come to fruition. Like you might have to, fill in the blanks, and sometimes it doesn't come to fruition. Is that not the topic of today?
I believe it would be the topic of today. So we're here to talk about best producer albums, meaning one producer, kind of like the Griff formula. One producer, multiple rappers going crazy on the beats. Fireside Chats now goes in that pantheon.
There
it
you
just
go.
happened with someone we know and love. And we are on the record. And still mad that Alaska got the beat for Adapt.
All three of you and some of you twice.
Yeah, like, you could have just given me the beat for Adapt first. I mean, we're boys out here, bro. Me and you've been boys since MySpace. You don't give me that beat? Okay. And then I hear the I Alive beat. I don't get that beat, the weird people.
I mean, that's not to say that I didn't send you any of those beats. We don't know for a fact, like given the quantity of beats that I've sent you, it's probably somewhere in there because we had that with Classy Freddie Blassie. You're like, man, that's my favorite beat you ever made. I'm like, I probably sent it to you 10 years ago.
Well, shouts to Andrew, because Andrew, me and him are doing a project, and I got like 4 joints done. And today he was like, I was like, I just did a song. He's like, you want me to send more beats? I was like, this gives me anxiety. Please do not send me more beats. I got like 9.
We need beats for the Wrecking Crew project. What do you mean don't send more beats?
Nah, I'm good.
This is what I'm talking about, Alaska.
Nah, bro.
Send them to Castro.
Nah, bro. Listen to that. What is that?
I know. This is.
Oh yeah, all right.
I'm on my Charlie Brown. I'm thinking about my old life. You know what I mean? My old situation.
Charlie raps all over.
I'm just repping for Charlie Brown right now. I can't really answer these questions.
Excuse us for a second. Hold on. Can we get a second? We'll come right back.
You turn that off, please.
Hold on. Right in the middle of the joint. We ain't even drop. Wait, was it before time? That was before time.
It was right before the second album, right?
Yeah, before time. Yeah, time.
Time.
Wow.
I've never listened to a Leaders of the New School.
You have.
Nope.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
You never listened to Time?
Nope.
No, seriously. No, I'm not.
I'm not serious. I've never listened to a Leaders of the New School album in my life.
There's like 4 or 5 good joints on Time.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, I haven't listened to it since like 92. It's a really long record.
Yeah, the songs are long.
I'm good.
Like they used to do long songs, like all 3 and all 4 in the morning.
That like
they were like a much less interesting Far Side.
Indeed. And I was gonna say the Lab Cab in California album, all of those songs are like 5.5, 6 minutes, bro.
Yeah, they're movements. But even still, like, Far Side was after. But I think LONS set a nice blueprint for groups with more than 2 people. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? They were like, the funny one, the serious, like fit the Power Ranger tropes. Yes. This is the funny one. This is the rapping one.
I think they worked on the first record where it was just like young, rambunctious dudes.
Yeah.
Like I think after a while, like having a group that big, you're just gonna grow in too many different directions, and it's never gonna work. It's like that's real like lightning in a bottle type of thing.
I think the fact that you had to focus that rambunctious energy on the second album, what's these songs about? Topics, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just serendipity, first time jitters, just go out there and rap. Now you have, you know what I'm saying? Everybody with that second record is purpose. And that can lead to a lot of bad ideas, thinking you're checking a box,
Yeah, I mean, a group in general is tough enough to deal with, but like 4 fucking rappers.
Yeah. Trust me, I had a group of 5 rappers in it. I know.
Yeah, well, the good thing is, going back to our topic, is Griff lucked out because he knows a lot of rappers clearly, but what was your process like for this record to say, here's the rappers I know, here's the beats I'm hoping they would choose to be on? Like, how did you pick the pairings, but then also get new guys on that you'd never work with?
A lot of it, as far as like working with the dudes that I already knew, there was a lot of, here's some beats for the project. What interests you? So like, like I think each of you guys, I probably sent like 4 or 5 beats.
No, our thing is unique, but I'll tell our story as to how we got our song out.
Okay.
Our thing was a little more unique.
Absolutely. Alaska, I definitely sent a handful to. And Zilla, I probably pieced all yours together over the course of 8 months or something like that. The other ones, like same thing with Def C. I sent Def C like 5 or 6 to choose from, and he's like, "Can I do 2?" And I'm like, "Yes, you certainly can. Let's go." Same thing with Mo Cyrus. He just picked one out of a batch, and it just kind of all came together really naturally. Like, you get the best out of people when they're doing something they want to do. So like, and pigeonhole people into like, this is the beat I want you on, and like I might hear them on it, but they listen to it and they're like, I'm not interested in that. Like I can't
Well,
picture myself
let
flowing.
me
on
ask
that or
you.
whatever.
Let me ask you this, Griff. Well, was it a matter of form before flair, in the sense that were they picking the punk rock beats that you wanted for this project when you were giving people beats to?
Yeah, I mean,
from?
I didn't, for this specific project, I didn't send anybody anything that wouldn't have fit the project.
Gotcha.
Like, I was kind of like, as I was making the beats, I was kind of piecing them together. Like, okay, well, this would sound good at like near the beginning of an album. This is more of a middle of the album type of deal. This is the end, even though I didn't know. The only song that I knew where it was going to go was the opening track, Rage. Like, I knew that beat. Like, I knew that was track one. Like, after making that one, I never tried to make a different beat to be the intro.
So let me slide in real quick, Alaska. So the way I got my song was, I had hired Griff to do some production on my solo record, and I think we were doing like a little barter because we did 2 songs, and initially, Never Iscariot was gonna go on the record, and the other song that I did was gonna go to my record, and the other song I did was gonna go on Fireside Chats. I'm saying it correctly, right, Griff?
Yeah, we had I was doing some promo stuff for you, and you were gonna throw some verses on some stuff.
Yes. And I did
and you did you picked the 2 beats. No, Dreadlocks Fallen was later.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so we did this first. Yeah, these were first.
Yeah,
and I picked the 2 beats.
Right. And that was early on in the part of the album process. So like I didn't know what the next steps specifically were going to be, but then you hit me back and
I was like, yeah,
you
let
were
me
like,
keep this
one really fits my album. Can I keep it? And then at that point, I was like,
then I did Iscariot because you sent me the other.
Yeah. You had done them both at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. But then at that point, I was like, well, hey, since we're talking about your project and my project and this and that and favors and everything, I got this song that I think for this project that I think Woods would sound great on.
Yes, that is the
mind hooking up an introduction, and then that's how that came to be.
Yep, I forgot about that piece. Yep. So my song. So I'd asked back for one of the songs. He took the other song, and in that favor, he also said,
yeah,
hey,
cash considerations were sent. Player to be named later.
Player to be named later.
And then and I connected
the Marlins offered to pay part of Stanton's salary.
Marlins chipped in a couple dollars.
What were you gonna ask, Alaska?
So I was just gonna say, like, for people that don't know anything about the album, if you could just sort of, because Castro touched on it about like the punk rock aspect of it. So if you could just kind of, give the sort of idea behind the record, what your hopes were to achieve with it, and like what your vision was for the record.
Okay. Yeah. So like forever ago, easily a decade or so ago, I had an idea. I was very big at that time into concept projects, but not like concept necessarily as like lyrical content, but like concept of the beats. Like I was very heavily into sampling, like not like digging for like obscure shit, but like flipping like known shit and being like, check out this dope thing I did with this. Not like mashups or anything like that, but like actually just like flipping samples like you would some obscure shit, but like using known shit or whatever. So anyways, I was always a huge punk rock kid, like going to shows throughout my teenage years and everything. And the spot to go was the Fireside Bowl in Chicago. It was a converted punk rock. It was a converted bowling alley, converted into an all ages punk venue. So that's where the name comes from, Fireside Chats. Nice. But I came up with the concept that I wanted to make a whole album flipping punk samples. And at the time I was working with one artist pretty heavily. So like I pitched the idea to him and I was making beats for it. And then we kind of just went our separate ways or whatever.
Right.
And years later, like I came back to the idea, like I think I was just randomly like flipping a punk sample just like during a making beats for the fuck of it session or whatever. And I was like, hey, I wonder, maybe I should revise this idea. So I kind of started doing more beats along those lines, and it really started like to feel like I was like, this shit is really good. Like, let me bring this project back to life and make it happen. Yeah, and then linked up with Scorsese, and we know the history there. But it ended up, he told him about it. He's like, put it on the calendar. Insubordinate Records, we're doing it. Which is really all I needed to just like really get going on it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, dudes. And what I was wondering too is like what when well, I'll tell you a brief story about the song I was on. Was Griff sent me the record, and I was driving in a snowstorm to go sell a vintage receiver to a girl on Craigslist, and I'm driving really slow, and I'm playing it. And I was like, "This is really good," and I'm hearing all these songs, and I hear that interlude, and I was like, I'm driving like in the snow, and I'm like looking down at my phone, texting and driving, can't see anything, and I'm like, "Yo, what's up with this interlude beat?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's just an interlude, kind of break up the rapping and all that." And I was like, "Nah, actually, I got to rap on that one, bro. I gotta. That's not gonna be an interlude anymore." And he was like, "Do you want me to extend it or something?" I'm like, "Let's just keep it the same length. I'll just kind of like rock with it the way you built it." And then after I sold the vintage receiver, I driving back in the snowstorm, writing to it on the spot, and then there you go. That's how Sun Will Still Shine came about. Alaska, did you have any anecdotes on your song, which is the people's choice? People love it.
I don't remember exactly which one came first, if it was Rage or Adapt.
I don't know which one you did first, but like which one you recorded first, but I know you picked Adapt first.
I picked Adapt, yeah. And then I think when you told me that Juggernaut was going to be on Rage, I was like, I got to be on it.
That's
I'm
your
a fan of
man.
Juggernaut.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
I was really surprised because that was actually the first song we ever did together. Was Adapt. And I think I had sent you like a bunch of stuff on there because I'm like, I don't really know what he's gonna like, but it probably won't be this one, which ends up, of course, being the one that you choose.
The one, yeah.
Yeah, and it's fucking great.
Yeah, I think the thing that it just like, I don't think I've ever rapped on anything like that before, but I've always wanted to. Like, I've always had this like idea of like, I don't know, I was like a big Ben Folds fan for a long time, and I wanted to make like a Ben Folds rap album.
Ben Folds.
I just referenced him on the.
To me, that was sort of like my chance to try to do that. And I just, I had this thing I was already starting with. Like, I had like the first, I think like up through like the motherboard, like Eye on the Oven Door, like that whole part. Like I had that written down. Like I just had written it. It sort of fit perfectly, and I just ran with it from there.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was like exactly like the mood I wanted to hit. So
we found some good chemistry pretty quick there. We should maybe consider doing some other stuff together in the future.
I mean, maybe we should knock out an album or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got a tangent I got to go on because I'm sorry. It just disturbed me if I don't get this off my chest. Has nothing to do with anything. So if any listeners out there are weed aficionados or they smoke or whatever, and they're into the higher end weed smoking, I saw a meme the other day and it was like 90s weed smokers were like, it's not that good, but it'll get you high.
Yeah.
And 2020 weed smokers are like, what is the terpene index or the on the indica? Because I can't do sativas. It was like this whole high end thing, and the characters wearing a Cookies hat. So if anybody's not familiar, Cookies is a world-known across-the-country brand ran by the man Burner. And, they delve in like high-end strains and, you get into your little botany and your little microscopic pictures. Mm-hmm. But they have certain packaging now. It's like child-proof, but it's like a sack, right? And it has certain graphics on the front. And some graphics are really cheesy, cartoony, Project Pat album covers, but then some are a little bit more stylized or whatever, right? And I saw somebody is in Philly, and they were showing their little pack that they're going to smoke tonight. Mm-hmm. And it was like a Cookies bag. And it was one of the strains called cereal milk. And I know for a fact that that's not real cereal milk in that package. Wow. So I went looking online, and you can buy Cookies packs in bulk online with the logo on the back and everything in the fake package, and reseal it and sell it and tell people, hey, I got cookies. And it's just, look, I come from the era.
What the hell does that have to do with anything? What the hell is it? What are we talking about?
Excuse you.
What are we talking about, man?
Excuse you.
Talking about Alaska pouring his heart out about the creative process. You're like, check out these cookie drugs.
In Alaska, I've come from the era of the Playboy Bunny Nick bags, and it's just like a colored bag.
Yeah, with a lot of stems and seeds in it.
You don't know how green the weed is because the bag is colored. And it's done in a backhanded way in the street so nobody sees. So you can't even inspect your weed in front of the people back then. So I apologize for going on my tangent.
So wait, did you ever have the ones where it was like a hard plastic green bag and like they would like kind of light it so it would melt?
Yes.
And be like hard. So you couldn't just see anything. It was just
no, but you couldn't even pop it open.
Let's have confession time. Call out culture confession time. How many times have you purchased oregano?
I know. I got caught once with a seeds and stem bag. And for the listeners, when you break down your weed, you have seeds and stems, especially mid, right? And there was a lot of mid in the 90s and 2000s in Philly.
That was literally all there was.
So when you would bag it all up, you
That's
would
pretty all there was in America.
Right. Yeah. You would put all the seeds and stems in one bag and just keep it in your pack. And it would let you know that you're getting to the bottom of your pack because you keep it at the bottom of your bag or whatever you're selling, your little stash. And when you would get to that bag, you could turn around and say, yo, man, what the hell is this? And they would also know it's time for them to re-up and, oh, my bag, yo. And they would take it back. But I have had a seeds and stems bag, but I've not bought oregano. But I will say this. I bought something really shady. It might have been weed, but it was just really old. But I couldn't tell. I didn't smoke. When I opened it up, I said, I can't smoke.
So is this the significance behind the Digital Underground song Oregano Flow?
Possibly.
But oregano was a known admitted slang back in the day. Now we're talking about people actually selling you oregano seed. Like you see in the movies when people try to get a bunk off and they run and they sell it and they, selling pieces of soap. So people try to sell people fake weed and they'll just put oregano in a bag and sell you like three actual bags of weed and the fourth bag is oregano.
Right.
Yeah. And I bought fake tabs in the past.
So what was it?
Watching the Square
Tylenol? And you just
No, it's just like because when you were trying to do acid back in the day, it was like a little piece of paper.
Yes.
Yeah. So it just like they just give you paper.
I've heard.
It's like
could they put a fake taste on it so you could think
you can't even really taste anything. You just like you're like okay. And then you're waiting like a half
and
hour,
it's like
nothing happens.
it'll kick in 45 minutes. I'll be across town in 45 minutes.
Exactly. So it was like one time, like me and Wyndham Breeze were in Washington Square Park, like 3 different guys got us. So it was like, all right, this isn't happening tonight.
Got taken.
Well, anyway, I brought up that tangent to say that the authenticity of Fireside Chats is refreshing. And I know it came from a real place, and you weren't out here selling fake cookie bags. And trying to
deep sell on
nice
that metaphor.
Back.
I fucking love it.
Yes.
It was a 20-minute metaphor, but it made sense. We got we nailed it.
I thought it was a legit tangent, but he tied it in.
So authenticity is real. You gotta go.
You gotta wait with words. Have you ever considered rapping? You'd probably be.
The way you tell stories, you should.
With the one bar relevance at the end of a good rap story, like the one bar that ties everything together.
I'm glad Reagan dead.
I'm glad Reagan dead.
The opening and the last bar, the only thing that makes sense of the story. Everything else is grits flying across the room or whatever. Because
he nailed every bar in Reagan, but
like Slick Rick though, a children's story. Was that a linear story to y'all, or was that kind of all over the place?
It was pretty.
It was very linear.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Bumping into crackheads on the rooftop. Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Sure. That's cool. So how about this? Let's we're gonna take our first break.
Love
then
it.
We're gonna come back and talk more Jason Griff on his favorite and our favorite producer album.
I'm gonna blow your mind with one of my picks. But it will blow your mind.
It's gonna be Erick Onassis and
commercial. Look at that.
Erick
Onassis does count.
Blah blah blah.
I don't think Erick Onassis. Very heavy on him rapping on it.
Did you know Rick Ross is on the Erick Onassis album?
He is. Yeah,
he is. His own song, solo song, right?
No,
actually, since I found out,
those before he was Rick Ross. He was Teflon.
Back to listen.
No, not on the Erick Onassis album. He's on Insomnia.
No, he's on Erick Onassis.
When did Erick Onassis come out?
2001.
Okay, so I'm thinking late. Okay, got you.
His name's Teflon. Right. Yeah, he's on a song called "Ain't Shh to Discuss" featuring Noah and Teflon. Wow.
That's not Noah the Flood, is it? That's years and years ago.
No, this is just some guy named Noah. The guests on Erick Onassis are incredible. Slick Rick.
Read it off.
All right, Slick Rick, Redman, some dude named Carrie, Keith Murray, Eazy-E.
Oh wow.
Okay.
It was like if I'm not mistaken, it was just like a hook.
Okay.
Like it was like a random hook dug
Okay.
up.
Then he has a song with DJ Quick and Exhibit, which I'm fascinated to hear.
So
Then,
Quick's probably doing the screaming hook and Exhibit is rapping. I would guess. Or can that mean is he scratching?
I don't
He
know.
does DJ stuff, right?
Maybe.
He does,
then
right?
he's got this guy. I remember he tried so hard to put this guy on for like a year, the same way Redman kept trying to put like Icarus on. This guy named Cy Scott. Erick Sermon was trying so
They had that joint
hard.
battle on
I remember
Lyricist
Cy
Lounge
Scott,
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cy Scott. Then Dave Hollister.
some
Some guy
big
named
boy.
Peter Moore. This song had to probably cost $250,000 at this time. A song with just Ja Rule on it. Ja Rule.
Well,
was
no,
like,
that's before the pop, isn't it?
No, this is when the explosion.
After Rush Hour, you know.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
this
didn't
is way
realize.
after
I was
that,
looking up Ja and Veni Vidi Vici. I didn't realize that was actually his debut album because he had all the other stuff, Cash Money, Click, and all. He was featuring on.
Yes.
So when Veni Vidi Vici, that was like his. Son, it's
That's
5
solo.
#1 songs on there or something like that.
No, I think it only has like Holla Holla.
No, Holla Holla. There's like the other 2 songs on there too. I was like, oh man, I forgot they were all
What
on
were
there.
the other off the Ja Rule
Oh
first
well.
album? Well, hold on. We'll
I'm
get to
looking
that,
up.
but real quick, I want to finish this part.
Yeah.
Go to break. Okay. So he spent
I thought we were on
$250,000.
break.
Well, no, this will still be in real quick. Ja Rule's on the album. Then he's got Noah and Teflon, Rick Ross. Then he's got a song called, ready for this, Castro? It's called Van Gundy, featuring Big Kim, Billy Billions, Nolan Epps, PMD, Cy
Interesting.
Scott, Bo, and Ruck, but probably not Sean Price Ruck. Just another guy who called himself Ruck.
Oh, wait, I got it. Holla Holla, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Hold on. This It's Murder is on there.
It's
With
Murder.
DMX and Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a big hit though. That was like more
Murder
for, like, the
for
heads.
Life with Memphis Bleak.
That wasn't a big hit.
God damn, there's 20 songs on there. No, it was
Price.
because in the little blurb I said, oh, I forgot all those songs on there.
It says the only
Let's
single
Ride.
release was
We Here Now.
was Holla Holla. That was the
World's
only
Most
single.
Dangerous. Yeah, Holla Holla, Kill 'Em All.
Oh, Kill 'Em All with
Jay-Z.
Jay. But
Yeah,
but
that's
that wasn't
it.
that wasn't like a big.
I just
hit.
didn't know
That
all of
wasn't
these
like
songs are on it.
J-Lo
Story to
collab.
Tell. He's
He's got a song called E-Dub and Ja featuring Erick Sermon. Oh my god.
Wow.
Here it is, the
Wow.
trade-off. So
called
wait,
E-Dub
you're
and
right.
Ja.
This wasn't Ja was not running the way of the world when he did the
Right.
Okay, wait, and the last song on the Eric Onassis album, I would probably peep this joint. It's called Fat Gold Chain featuring Too Short. I'm gonna play this joint tomorrow.
Yeah. No games for no names. On the mic, I spit flames. Rockwell's the James. That's all I remember is the opening.
Wow, you
6
know
lines
the
of
words.
Yeah, just like
To
the
Eric
first,
Onassis
the
joint.
first
Oh.
song, the first 8 bars. I could probably go.
Bro, you were
there.
destined to be a producer because you remember Eric Onassis lyrics.
Right.
It's crazy. Look at you, man. I'm proud of you. All right, Call Out Culture. We'll be back from our break. We'll come back and talk producer albums. with Griff.
Shablam, shablow. Are the 4 elements keeping you down? Do you find yourself cutting your fingers every time you work on a flyer or an insert? Are you tired of being asked to boost your ads or buy ad space? Well, the boys at Griff Company, we have the solution for you. Now, all jokes aside, this is Wrecking Crew consultation. If you think that your hip-hop career can use a battery burst, do you feel like you want to have some type of counsel and a soundboard, or do you just need a good old pep talk? We can help you out here. Zilla Rocca and myself, Curly Castro, we are offering our consulting services at nominal fees. So if that's something you're interested in, shoot us an email, give us a call, and we'll help you out. Tell me, when was the first time you fell in love with hip-hop?
Hey, what's up, Call Out Culture listeners? It's your boy Jason Griff. I'm here today to tell you about my new album, Fireside Chats. I flipped a bunch of punk rock samples, made a bunch of dope beats out of them, got a bunch of dope rappers to rap on them. Everybody from Call Out Culture will be there. Zilla Rocca, Curly Castro, Alaska. Shit, Alaska's there twice. I got Alex Ludovico, I got Billy Woods, I got Juggernaut. Of course, my homie Scorsese is on it. And we got it available today at insubordinaterecords.com. You can get 10% off with the promo code CALLOUT. Fireside Chats. Check it out. Peace.
Welcome back, Call Out Culture podcast. We're here with Jason Griff and Subordinate Records. Very good friend of the pod. Very good friend in real life.
IRL.
Just be on that shit. IRLing it out. Yo, we got our new IG. Finally, after 7,000 episodes, we did it.
Yeah.
Alaska, what is our internet IG handle?
Hold on, let me find it.
Call Out Culture.
Call
I am a
underscore out
proud
underscore.
follower.
No, it's Call Out Culture podcast. One word.
I'm getting
Hold on. It is, Call Out Culture podcast, one word.
check that out. Boom. We got 10 followers right now. Fucking
Look at
crushing.
that.
I'm
we had
110.
6 early. We had 6 early
Boom.
this morning.
Yeah, we got 1/10 of our followers live on the show.
There you
The
go.
Twitter,
Yeah,
the
it's
Twitter's
like that-
cracking up too.
It's
We
like
have
that
600.
AMC stock. It's just
Yeah,
up.
$63, man. Shit, it went up like what,
Oh, yeah.
90% today, or 15? I mean, 15. Whatever. I forget what the
Doge,
jump was.
look, Doge went back up too because
Yup.
Elon Musk
Oh,
said
I got
it's
some.
inevitable
I
for
got
us
some
to
of
do
that,
it, and
boy.
it went shooting
That
right
fucking-
back up.
That fucking robot.
As
Sheesh.
soon as he said it, it went. They said as soon as he said that statement, it went right back up.
I know. It's wonderful. What was I gonna say too? So we got the IG popping off. The Patreon is fucking where it's at, bro. You get
We
exclusive
appreciate y'all.
you get exclusive
Patreons.
episodes. You get exclusive discounts on merch and gear.
Did we
and
drop that
CDs and
song
shit.
that I sent? Did we do?
We
did
didn't
put
do
that
we
up
didn't do that yet, but we will. You're gonna get exclusive songs you can't hear anywhere else. You get the podcast like 4 days early. You get the good feeling of empowering 3 of your favorite undisputed fucking kingpins of indie rap. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's pretty dope to fuck with the Patreon. We put up little polls, we have little discussions, we do demo sessions with people. So fuck with us on Patreon. All right.
Yep.
Let's talk about the concept of the show. So best producer albums. We're gonna go 2 each because right before we started recording, we had a revelation that there's not a ton that are really great. Or maybe the comment was there's just not a ton of producer albums in the scope of rap, which I found hard to believe.
I think we
Was it
But
Griff
we
who said
also
that?
had
I
some.
think we
strict-
touched on why.
Oh
we had
yes.
some
The more
stringent-
rappers, the more tough it is to complete.
we
What
had
do you
some
mean? What are you
stringent
trying to say?
regulations.
You're saying rappers are unreliable, unprofessional, petty, sensitive, and insecure?
I, excluding the 3 gentlemen in the room with me, that is a pretty common sentiment. No, really though, like this project, Fireside Chats, like everybody came through. I had very little harassing to do to get anybody to finish anything.
Yeah, shouts to everybody on Fireside Chats for being pros.
Yeah.
We're professionals, man. All right, so why don't we do this? Since Griff's the guest, why don't you go first? What is something you know to be a great producer album outside of your own?
Maybe not what would be considered the greatest, but like one of my personal favorites and something that was very influential in me becoming a producer and wanting to be a producer is Handsome Boy Modeling School.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I apologize. I figured that would probably be one of yours. It definitely
Yes.
wouldn't
Well,
be.
you better take number 2, Z. Take number 2 then.
No. I'm let him keep going on this.
I mean, I was gonna say, so how's your girl? I don't
Yeah,
know if I
all
can,
day.
I don't know if I can claim both. I mean, white people
What,
have
white
its
people?
moments wasn't the collective awesomeness that the first one was.
Yeah.
But white people did have
Jack Johnson
song-
joint.
Well, that Jack
L joint?
Johnson joint is trash. I have to hear that at work all the time.
Yo, when
And
I
I
interviewed
always-
Prince
it's-
Paul, I told him that. I'm like, you hear that shit at airports, NPR?
Yo, and it's crazy because you'll go up to, you got your one coworker that knows some shit about music, and you go up to him and be like, yo, this is a Handsome Boy Modeling School song, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Like nobody,
get
nobody
get you.
believes it. But no, the real highlight, and I don't even think it was the best song on the album, but just the fact that LP Cage and Chino Moreno from the Deftones are on a song together
That's so far.
is like, that's just like such a blending of worlds for me.
But what about Handsome Boy? Like, I mean, I know why I love it the most, and I told I Alive when he made his last joint that was like the closest I ever heard someone in Philly making a Handsome Boy record.
Yeah.
But what about it for you? Like, was the shit?
It's the full package. It's the concept. I'm big into the conceptual album as a whole. Obviously,
Father Garducci, whatever his name is, Guido Sarducci.
Yeah, all the old samples that tie it together. From whatever the fuck that old show.
Get a life, right?
What and the funny thing is, when Run the Jewels featured Prince Paul on their first record, what's the character he plays?
Chess
on
Rockwell.
Handsome Boy?
Chess Rockwell.
They had him feature as Chess Rockwell.
Yeah.
instead of everything else, and That was a nice little slick touch.
And I didn't know about I just learned on the Open Mike Eagle podcast about LP's song on there that like that wasn't the original beat.
Yes.
And I didn't know that until like this week. It's so good.
Alec Empire song.
And like
Zilla. It's
like
and it's
hearing,
so destructive.
hearing that when it happened, like I was
trash.
already
it's so good.
So I was already familiar with LP. So like I heard it and I'm like, all right, well, it's LP and it's like kind of weird, but like LP weird shit. So like, cool, this beat is crazy.
Right.
And headphones,
so I'm just cool with
crazy.
it.
And your headphones,
you
just
glitch
listen
shit.
to this.
It's like glitch
crazy.
hardcore shit.
It's insane. Yeah. Like
I love this
type shit.
productive. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Just like screaming.
So I didn't know that it was a different beat at a different BPM. It all makes sense now, but I didn't realize that is what in fact happened. And that he's such a good sport about it.
Because Paul said it when he did the Mike Pod last year, where he was like, LP was really mad.
Because you know why? Because L said he had figured out a great rap scheme to the original piece, and that just went out the window with the the manic chaos.
And we know that as rappers, bro. Yeah, that's a flagrant foul. If you're gonna just switch my shit and not run it by me, and all of a sudden it's just out there in the world, and then people don't know that
it was
I sound like trash to this because you did all the the background shit.
In integrity and producer courtesy, like I'll send you a fucking track like that I made 0 changes to, other than maybe some leveling, just to be like, you sure you're good with this,
right?
But the irony is
the fact
LP
that cats don't do that appalls me.
The irony is LP was notorious for doing a track and then deconstructing the whole fucking thing and rebuilding a whole. So that was actually an issue, and I talked to Liff about this even personally. He had told me when they had worked on the record. It was first a Momega. First, it was a version Z. Who produced the first version of Momega?
It was Blueprint.
Yeah, it was
Blueprint, right? Then they scrapped that.
And then, they couldn't clear the samples, I think.
Right. And then he was doing stuff with L. And from what we say, and also from our RZA knowledge, you might record to a whole nother beat. And then when you come back, it's totally changed behind you. And LP said it, we get demo artists. Oh, I love the last demo. You know what I'm saying? And I think there was some Cannibal Alaska, just real quick, tangent. Was there anything like that Cannibal Ox wise? Where the beat totally changed?
No, there wasn't really anything on the Canox record where that changed that much.
Okay.
I mean, they added some touches
also,
to it.
weren't they were all living together, so like they would hear any change. Like
they were,
right. It wasn't
but
like
I think also
away.
Right.
Yeah.
When Canox was dropping, Jux was still like they didn't really. I think they didn't really look at the sample clearance stuff too tough until RJ.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Shit.
I think like that sort of is when they realized, all right, we got to pay attention to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my understanding. I could be 100% wrong, but that's when I first remember people like talking about it.
Zilla, did you ever do that to me just on this topic? Did you ever change your beat? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But then I told you about it, then I played it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fun to do. I mean, I love remixing. I get it. But all right, so we have Handsome Boy Modeling, first album mostly. So How's Your Girl, which is one of the most important records of my life also. Alaska.
Heard that record.
Wow.
So,
get off my show.
Take
a walk, homeboy.
Handsome Boy Modeling School. The first time I ever heard that album was live. I had never heard the album.
Wow.
Wow.
I went to the Tibetan Freedom concert.
Oh shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Handsome Boy Modeling School was performing in between all the acts.
Oh
so they were just playing like cuts off the album. And that was the first time I heard it. And I was like, whatever this is happening right now, this is pretty fucking amazing. And I remember I went out and bought the CD like a couple days after the show.
That's awesome.
I don't remember what got me into it. I think it was more of that was in my vein. I was in my wheelhouse and I just bought it. I think there was a single, was that Waterworld or something floating around?
Encore. I made me buy Encore's album.
So it was just a matter of like, I knew,
this is
I kind of knew who Dan the Automator was. I didn't remember all the stuff he had done, but I knew his name and, I knew Prince Paul. So it was like a no.
Dude, Magnetizing with Dell, that's like one of the best Dell songs of all time.
Yeah, so it was like those
Magnetizing, Magnificent Mindset.
I was all bought into any Stones Throw adjacent, any using those artists, West Coastians and stuff of that nature. I was into that,
Yeah, it's a very...
Truth. with
Yes,
Jay
it's the
Live.
best song of all time, Royce and Murphy. Yeah,
it's so
I bought
good.
a Royce and Murphy Moloko CD in England because she was on the Handsome Boy album.
That was an incredible song. That's an incredible.
The truth.
That's why I love
That's like
the Common
McDermott
song.
shit.
Pray. No, not Pray. You know, the one he's in the courtroom. That's dope.
Testify. That's what's crazy.
But it's definitely godson of
Truth. Yeah,
You
I
know
know
what I'm
Jay
saying?
Live. I know Jay Live's whole verse. I can spit the whole shit right now.
Yeah, he can. He actually can.
I can. All right, Alaska. What do you got? Your pick.
I'm going with Pete Rock, Soul Survivor.
You other piece.
Number one,
of
right? He
shit.
did two, right? He did two,
Yeah,
right?
number one. I
Soul Survivor
never
2
heard number two, but
sucks.
number one
Sucks.
is the
Yeah.
joint. It's got True Master.
Dude.
The shit
Son,
with
it got,
Duck and Corrupt.
Half,
let
man, half
me
amazing.
bust
The
into
game.
you.
Yeah, the game
Mind
is
blowing
killer with-
decisions.
Strange Fruit.
Mind blowing. That's
Yeah.
incredible because I love the original song. So when he did that,
Yeah.
I said, "Oh my god!" Like
Dude,
I
the
was
joint
all,
with CO.
and Vania
The
Mojica.
two.
And
Oh.
you got
See, that was
Vania
dope.
Mojica.
Yeah, Vivian Mojica on that joint.
Did you ever meet her,
Vivian? You
Alaska?
call her Vivian?
No, I never
Mojica?
did. No.
You never met
Vivian.
Vivian? Okay.
What
Vivian?
what is it?
He called her Vivian
I
Mojica.
thought it was Vivian.
Vivian Monica. I love that song.
Vania Mojica.
Vania. Oh,
You put
man.
an extra V in there.
Vivian
Vania.
Monica.
But they also had Verbal Murder, the shit with pun.
Grandma
Yeah,
Murder,
oh, that's
you
great.
never heard of verbal murder
Yeah.
like
Oh, they
this.
have Strange Fruit Trait. Wait, where's
Game
Tres
shoot.
Leches?
Yo, no, that's on
Where's Tres
point.
Leches?
That's on
Okay,
point.
sorry.
Listen,
Thank
the Strange Fruit joint, the
Tragedy.
so the Traj said that on a mixtape before
verse?
after the album came out, where he says a line on a mixtape on some song. It might have been like a CNN one-off or something. He said, "The world," I think it's one of the most amazing couplets ever. "The world plants seeds in my mind, strange fruit, survivalist based on my life off rap loot." Right?
Yep.
So what he said it like in a verse rhyming on some song, and then when the album came out, he says it, and then Pete says it. "Hey yo, the world plants seeds in my mind, strange fruit,"
Strange Fruit.
and it's like the greatest shit in the world. And then,
Let's also give a nod to Pete's perfect rap voice, whether he's a good rapper or not. This guy, you press
that
record,
voice,
he
man.
talks.
Oh,
It's
I enjoy
really.
Pete as a rapper, honestly.
I love him as a
I
rapper.
have a good. I think he has a good time. So because he having a good time, and
Yes.
it's some genuineness to the lyrics. It's not
He's
like
got a great
producer putting on.
Mhm.
And also, I put him with Diamond D and Lord Finesse type rapping producers as opposed to producers that rap later. Let's say
Right.
Puffy or cats that,
Yeah.
Dre, cats that get stuff
Yeah.
written for him. These guys were. I do kind of both. Because remember, he would pop on a CL Smooth
Yes.
and Pete Rock song here and there.
Well, he
touch.
when Pete, I think when Rosenberg talked to him at some point, or he might have brought up on his own, where he said the song "The Game" with Prodigy, Ray, and
Yes.
Ghost, which is probably the best fucking collabo ever, right?
Ever.
You're getting like leading into Supreme Clientele. You're getting Post Forever leading into Clientele Ghost, where he says MC Ultra, right? He starts off with that. So
Jesus.
Rosenberg points out, he's like, Prodigy sets the song off. I'm pretty sure he goes first, right? Then you have Ray doing a hook and rhyming. Then you have Ghost doing, 6.5 monkeys, 12 Nazis, all the, all that wild shit he says. And then the chorus, and then all of a sudden, Pete Rock's like, "I'll do a fourth verse."
Yeah.
And Pete
There's a
Rosenberg
lot
is
of
like,
fourth verses
"Why
on
would
this
you
record."
why would you feel compelled to rap after 3 fucking verses?
He's like,
of
I'm
hooks
gonna get my shit off
after
here.
3 of the best
He's
dudes
like, I
that
don't care
ever
what's
work
going
in
on.
this
I'm
world."
gonna get my shit. I give Pete some credit for that. He's like, I'm gonna get my shit off on these joints.
And
Like
it's
Mad Lib would like, nah. Mad Lib would be
So-
like, nah.
Yeah, he would sit that one out.
Respect Mine has 4 verses. The Game has 4 verses.
Yes.
Are we talking 4 different MCs on it? Like,
no,
including
Respect
Pete?
Mine is OC.
Yeah, it's OC and Pete.
Yes.
And then
True Master
I
has
guess those are the
3.
only. But Pete interjects himself a lot with some really
Right.
good rappers that he might could have not done that.
Yes. And when I interviewed him, I asked
Half
him
Man,
about
Half Amazing has 4 verses also.
because Meth does 3 and he does 1 on his.
Yeah.
So you ask him about that? What he saying?
So, I just asked him about like that record specifically because I was like, that is the most that's the best producer album of all time. And he's like, when I signed Aloud, he was like, everyone there was excited for me to be there. And I was excited to be there because it was the best stop in my career. Like the best talent in a concentrated place was right there. So I walk in the door and have access to like Mobb Deep, Wu, Pun, and like all of their dudes. So if you get Nori If you get pun, then you get Nori. You get Nori, you get Traj. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you get Woo, you get Onyx because they were doing. You know what I mean? Like everyone connected to everybody, and then everybody wanted to work with P Rock because everybody was fans. So he was like everything just like fit perfectly.
Some of his really good production on there too. Like
that's amazing. Like it's there's like melodic R&B shit. There's
I think there's instrumentals to it if I'm not mistaken, right?
There's like interludes. There's like little interludes a little bit, but it's pretty full. It's a pretty full record.
No, but there's no instrumental version of the record.
No, I don't think so. What do you got, Castro? What's your producer choice?
All right, so my first one is I like to go up the plantation a bit is BK1's Radio Do Carnaval.
Oh.
And
Griff, did you ever repeat that one, Griff?
I haven't.
The Rhyme Sayer shit.
So yeah, it's Rhyme Sayers based. It has Slug, Brother Ali, Raekwon, Fonte, Black Thought, POS, Toki Wright, Blueprint got a great song here. Murs,
yeah, he does. The
Blueprint got a song, Blue Balls. Murs is on here. I Self Divine. And there's a number of Brother Ali appearances, which I'm neither here nor there about. Everybody knows how I feel about him. But I just like the I think I don't know if it's sample based. I just like the musical choices on there. It's pretty long, but I would get into, he did all the production, but I would get into like those compilations where it was like that circle of artists. There's like 19 tracks on it, but there's like some instrumental pieces and stuff. But then there's also like the Latin flair to it.
Yes.
That
I'm cool record, man.
I'm pretty fond of. Yeah, you can play it.
It's a really cool record.
It's a laid back joint. It's really a lot of nice little sounds in there. So if anybody has it, definitely check out Radio Do Carnaval by BK1.
Yo, I bought that CD when I think it was Evidence and Brother Ali came to First Unitarian Church in Philly, and BK1 opened. And I bought the CD there, and I was loving that album. And then at some point, I lost the disc, but had the case. And then I refused so I refused to buy it again. And then I also refused to legally download it because I was like, I have the case. Like, I want to find this disc to put it back in its home.
He came out with a part 2. He came out with a part 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think so. Either that, it's called Temo Do Carnaval EP. And that came out 2 years afterwards. And that has like let me see how many tracks that has on it. That has like 7 tracks on it. And that one's Exile. There's like different versions of certain things. It's like one song, but that's why it's an EP. It's one song with different versions of it.
That's fire.
Yeah.
It's a really fucking it doesn't really get mentioned enough, to be honest.
That's why I wanted to bring it up here.
Good call, man. Mine is same label, and I just thought of it because you brought up that one. Jake One, White Van Music.
Oh, great!
And that album is crazy.
Such a great
Trapdoor.
Woo, Doom.
Like the Trapdoor beat is.
There's so many good.
The opening joint, the Black Milk and Knots joint, is this amazing like dub joint with like this like 60s like spy guitar. But he has like Knots and Black Milk rhyme on it, who are like, producers who rhyme.
But they got the sync voices.
They're dope, but like, I was kind of like, you should have let someone else really go off on that joint. But it's more about like the bounce and the feel to it. Then he has like the Truth joint with Freeway and Brother Ali. The truth is always me. That joint is insane. The whole album is like Blueprint's got the Ill Story joint on there.
Yeah.
That song's crazy. I remember the first time we met Print, I told him that. I was like, yo, that shit, you got like the best actual song. Like there's better beats on the record, but the best song is the Blueprint song, the Story joint. And then he's got like the one joint with like Royce and Elzai.
Isn't he coming off the stimulus package?
I think this led to stimulus package.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
so I got a funny story. So I was like 6 degrees of separation from Jake One. Who was the other Seattle producer that was running Vitamin
D? Yeah.
And we had 2 beat CDs of Vitamin D, really banging stuff, y'all. We never got busy to them, but we were gonna try to do a bunch with him, and then eventually try to ask him to get us to Jake One. Vitamin D was just as talented, but they were like, they were running like Thick as Thieves back then, if y'all remember, coming out of Seattle. But we never did anything with the beats, and I think I still have the CDR somewhere in the house. It's like 20 or 30 beats.
I remember the last song. He had a song called Home with Ish from Diggable and what's the name? Shabazz. The song with Get Her Done, the other Doom song, is crazy.
Yep.
He's got the what's the name joint, the Young Buck song, Dead Wrong. That's crazy. And he's got like some random dude D Black on this beat called Godlike, which is like everything about it. It's like the perfect combination of taking established dudes that are in his wheelhouse and then taking in like newer guys, but then also taking in people you wouldn't expect. Like at the time, it was like I said, Young Buck, like MOP. You wouldn't expect that on a Rhymesayers record. You know what I mean? And then he had like the Truth joint with Freeway and Brother Ali, where like that beat was always a beat people would put on to hear motherfuckers rap at like radio shows, live show. Like that beat was in the mix.
You heard it
everywhere.
on a lot of mixtapes.
Yeah, like that beat was. And then if you ever watch like the Helter Skelter freestyle from one of the radio shows they did when the Incredible Rap Team album came out, and Sean Price fucking crushes that shit, like on some radio station in Switzerland or something live. It has like all the elements of like amazing range. You know what I mean? Where this guy's like, my Rolodex is crazy. The approach I have is nuts. And he was just doing like ill flourishes. Like he would have like really ill fills, and like he was putting in live instrumentation, but it didn't sound whack as shit. You know what I mean? Like he would have the sample and then he would have like his man's play shit here and there. It's kind of like what Chong did on Midnight Suns, where he has something and kind of like puts flourishes in without it sounding like a band. But yeah, that album, that's a great gem album too. White Van Music. Shouts to Jake One. All right, let's take our first break. We'll come back with the second round of picks.
Second break, fool.
Second break. I'm back for our second picks. Call Out Culture with Jason Griff. Yeah. Steel's Kitchen, the new compilation from us, Wrecking Crew. The follow-up to last year's Raheem's Lament, dropping June 4th at wreckingcrew.bandcamp.com. All new joints from Shrapnel, Career Crooks, Cargo Colts. All new solo songs from me, Small Pro, Curly Castro, and Prem Rock. Alaska's on there. Marcus Pinn's doing cuts all up and down out piece. Fresh Kill's got a beat on there. Shouts to Canada. We got Jason Griff on this piece. Stan Ipkiss, Fat Boy Sharif, our very dear friend. Scorsese, rest in peace. He's on there. Yo, man. Disco Vietnam, Dose 4GW. Whew. Mastered by Cryptic, one of the Adams fam, and artwork and design by PQ. Family affair. And our family's the illest. Wrecking Crew, Steel's Kitchen, June 4th. Get it.
Hello, Call Out Culture. Dano from freemusicempire.com. We are at the heart of this underground hip-hop stuff. Breakdowns, analysis, interviews. Our YouTube channel has long-form conversations. Subscribers are getting additional benefits and recommendations. Weekly hip-hop discussions. We love it. Follow Call Out Culture. Follow us. freemusicempire.com. That's freemusicempire.com.
Call Out Culture podcast, YouTube show, Instagram accounts. By the time this airs, probably the Wrecking Crew project is out. Steel's Kitchen.
The compilation show
should be out with Jason Griff remix on there. Vamoose
remix dropping before the original.
The remix is
that
out there.
Definitely counts for
the
something.
That is crazy. We did that. Yeah, the song called Vamoose with Alaska and Stan Ipkiss, remixed by Jason Griff. The original version. The original version. I don't think you've ever heard the original. The original version will be out most likely now in July via Chong Wizard Records on the LP Vegas Vic.
And it's fire.
It's fire. It's a good one. Yeah, so here we go. So let's go to our second and final pick for best producer albums. Griff, go.
Okay. I actually had more than I thought I had.
Okay.
But
you can do the Castro thing where you name 16.
Well, I am gonna throw out a quick honorable mention for
Do It.
The Difference Volume 1.
What is that?
It was a compilation by Domingo.
Oh shit! Domingo.
Okay, so
wow.
This came out in.
Man, he was
hold
dope.
on, I got it here. I don't know what fucking year it came.
Oh, send me that Soul Seek link.
2002.
Yes, I remember this.
So I gotta
look this up.
I was in a very exploratory phase with rap and independent and underground rap, and I remember just seeing this CD at like Best Buy and reading who was on it, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this shit, and I played the shit out of it all the time. I listen to it now; it sounds a little dated, But the main reason I want to put it on here because, okay, so here's who's on it. Dilated Peoples, High and Mighty.
Yes.
Sean Price.
Yep.
Somebody named K/Slash and Mr. PR. Not to be confused with PR the Great from the Nation Gang.
Shouts to PR the Great.
Shouts to PR the Great. Shouts to Coach.
Yep.
KRS-One.
Sure.
Featuring Tone Deaf. Clear 'Em Out. That's a pretty fun song. It's not great, but it's very fun. Rise.
Oh, I used to love Rise. From Demigods. Alaska, did you ever fuck with Rise?
Oh, yeah.
No.
He said no.
You just respond as if I said, would you like a Fresca? You're like, no.
Okay, Punchin' Words.
Yes,
They got
I
a song
love
called,
Punchin' Words.
Native New Yorker, where they sample the song Native New Yorker. So obviously, that's pretty
wait. Before you get to the next track, dedicate it to Curly Cash.
Dedicate the next one to Curly Cash. Or are you looking at the track list?
I am.
The next song is by some group called the Cocoa Brothers.
Oh my God. I live on the third floor, y'all. Stop playing because I'm about to walk right out the window.
Cocoa Brothers.
King Tommy.
Craig Mack.
Mack.
Deacon the Villain.
Is he from Cunning Linguist?
He's like extended fam of Cunning Linguist.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to that one.
And this is the
last song is Royal Flush, Big L, Cool G Rap.
Flush.
Okay, here's the funny part.
I'm
pulling this up as a one producer album. My favorite song on here is the Deacon the Villain song. It's so fucking good. It's the one song not produced by Domingo.
Whoops.
It's produced by Deacon the Villain.
What the fuck is it?
What the fuck?
Had to do it.
I'm had
to do it.
But no, it's
had to do it.
It's amazing. And he was one of those dudes. So like in that era, that was also like LimeWire era.
Yes.
So like I was trying to find more of the
record.
stuff. To the best of my knowledge, he never did a full album. So like I was just like piecing together shit from him off of hearing this one song. And it's just like a song with the Cunning Linguists here, another one with him there. You know, like it was like I pieced together like a 5-song EP and then just gave up. So one of these days I'll look into it again. But Watch Your Mouth by Deacon the Villain is fucking heat.
I remember all the press he did after this was him just trashing KRS-One.
Who, Domingo?
Yeah, because I think he did the beat for the MC, which is like the greatest shit ever. And he just like trashed KRS for money or recognition or credits or something. And then the only stain on his career, Domingo, is he did the album version of Big Pun's Dream Shatterer, which is not good compared to the mixtape version. Because the mixtape version had the same sample as Black Rob, I Dare You. So if you hear the original version, it's way better. And then we're punching, I shatter dreams like Jordan, a sort and body, a team. So the retail version, they couldn't clear that sample, I think. And then the Domingo did the remix, and it's it's like the worst beat on Capital Punishment. You know what I mean? There's kittens everywhere. This is
really
so
are.
adorable. They're like climbing curtains. They're just walking.
You see that one? I didn't even see that one.
Wow. That shit was adorable. Yeah, shout out to them. I just added that. I'm going to play that tomorrow. I haven't listened to Domingo, and he was so good.
He's still active. I stumbled upon his Instagram page the other day, and he's still putting shit out.
He's still just shitting on KRS-One. Fuck you, Chris.
Apparently. KRS-One, the punching bag we never needed. You know.
I got Temple of Hip Hop proof of purchase. I mail them back in, then I get my crown.
And that's your guys' last episode made me think of that too with the Temple of Hip Hop shit.
I got a bar about it now.
Which that was one of my favorite episodes, actually. Thanks, I just finished it. It was super fun.
It was great. Shout out to
I think
and Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the one thing that really stuck out to me was when the question was asked about LP, if he has a fourth project with another rapper, who would it be? And everybody said Breeze Bruin. But in the end, Alaska just quietly chirps in a Clips reunion. And that's the right fucking answer.
Yes.
No.
That's a good idea. Well, speaking of Alaska,
anyways,
Alaska, what is your second choice, my good friend?
So I'm going to pull a quick honorable mention, and mostly just because I kind of like the record, but I'm not going to get too deep into it. But
Fireside Chats?
No, I don't really like that record. Preservation's Eastern Medicine and Western Illness.
Let me put wait. Last I was at
Yeah.
Wood's crib, and Woods finally got his package from them, right?
Yeah.
And in the package, there's an unreleased Woods song. It's like just on the 7-inch, and he has these 2 tapes wrapped in this paper, tied by this hemp twine with a
wax
stamp on it.
Wow.
And on that tape is some instrumentals and a song with another artist, but he only appears on this tape. Zilla knows who he is, and I don't care. It's Hoslow. Hoslow.
Okay.
And then there's another tape with just the beats. I know we did. And then there's another, big ups.
The industrious prolific Hoslow.
And so he snuck on there, right? And then there's another tape of, I think, some of the instrumental pieces from the CD. So I was just sitting there looking at this thing, and it's just like, I'll give him really thumbs up. The packaging, that little handmade thing, plus the vinyl.
That's brilliant.
Plus the 7-inch.
Plus the 7-inch and the wax stamp.
And the 7-inch has Jeremiah J, Makami, and Billy.
Nice. That's dope.
So,
but my actual choice is going to be Love NY.
Ray Woodess.
Yeah.
Look at friend of the pod, Ray. Friend of real life, Ray.
So
great record.
That actually just came last minute. Like it just popped into my head. I wasn't even thinking it, and then I was like, oh, when I saw OC on the we were talking about OC on the Pete Rock one. He's got that song Legacy on this record. I was like, oh, what about that shit? And that album just cranks. I mean, it really like made me appreciate that old Deuce rap. You know, there's like a lot of old rappers
totally.
on there.
Cool Keith is flexing on that shit.
Cool Keith is flexing. AG is just like reborn on that record.
Yo, AG, the last 10 years.
OC.
Yeah. Oh man, AG, the last 10 years between like the Ray records, his own shit. He is so underrated. He's fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. So yeah, those are my choices. But I think if you want, just go listen to the OC song. If you don't like the OC song, you won't like the record.
I mean, I've told Ray. Yeah, I've told Ray like the third best OC album of all time is Ray's Cafe.
Yeah,
it's like
dude, he
right
brought back El Fudge on this record for back-to-back tracks.
And he just put El Fudge. So then Ray just put out so that one's called, what's that one called? Love New York.
Yeah.
So then he just did no. Is that New York Love or Love New York?
Love New York. Oh, did we lose Griff?
Yeah, we lost Griff. Hopefully, he comes back.
He'll be right back.
But then he just did the sequel, the New York Love joint, right at the end of last year.
Yeah,
where he brings all his dudes back, but they're all love songs. So El Fudge is on there.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure AG. Yeah, Curious might be on that record again.
Nice.
I think John Robinson's probably on there. He always just pulls in John Robinson. I think Blue maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Ray.
JR.
I asked Ray. He might have said on our episode when we had him, we did Row House Whispers liner note shit. But Ray said like, and it's true working with him. He was like, for some reason, like all these fucking amazing dudes like trust me. It's like he's like, I don't know how or why they all just trust me to fucking do whatever, like mix the shit, arrange it, do interludes, do whatever.
Has he done stuff with Sadat? Is Sadat on any of these projects?
I feel like he has done something with Sadat.
I feel like Dottie X
because he made like a sequel called The Snake Tape that came out right after that one, after Love New York. The Snake Tape's pretty fire. It's got like this banging Rock Marcy shit. He's got so many unheralded joints, and that's what annoyed me when the Mount Marcy project came out, where they're like, "Oh my God, Cool Keith and Marcy." I'm like, Ray was putting them together on tracks in 2011 or 12.
Yeah,
like that's not, and they're better.
Respect the architect.
Yeah, like it's way better than the one on Mount Marcy, I should say. Yeah, that's a great call, bro. Shouts to you. Shouts to Ray. What do you got, Curly Castro?
All right, so this is gonna blow some people's speakers, but I would be remiss if I wasn't being honest and transparent. So I'm going all the way back to 96.
Okay.
For this one, and it is Insomnia, the Erick Sermon compilation.
You did it. Look at the integrity. Look at the integrity of you, man.
Look at that.
Because back then,
a bit.
Back then, I was really still digging Eric. I didn't know any better, and
I didn't know.
There's a nice moodiness to some of these joints on here, but at this point, I'm a big Keith Murray fan. Keith's on here. LOD's on here. Redman's got this song Funkorama on here. It's just crazy.
That's a great song. Funkorama.
Guess who else is on here? Your man Z. Tommy Gunn is on this record. Tommy Gunn is on it. So it's just like, so it was all of the affiliates that they was working with. And I like that
quality on there.
It's top. No, but it's just like when you know that they have a whole bunch of other people rolling with them. Oh, these are my boys in their crew, and they actually have decent, and they put on something that's quality. It actually worked. Now some of these people you've never heard of again. Crossbreed with an X instead of the C.
Oh, that was Rockwilder's group.
Got it.
He's rhyming on that shit.
Cat named Passion, the Wixtons. There's a lot of names on here.
Wixtons. Is that a fucking like murder mystery London show? And fucking
I don't know, but they on a song called Up Jump the Boogie.
Up Jumps the Boogie.
And then there's Eric and Keith got a song. It's that hit.
Is so it called it's just Eric and Keith.
That was solid. It's called It's That Hit. But it's very late 90s, when that funk stuff was really hitting and working. And so, Insomnia. That's my pick. Compilation album.
Wow.
Erick Sermon.
Look at the growth.
Kudos
Look at the maturity.
Really I do applaud the integrity.
Yeah.
Just
a lot of our listeners will be pausing at this moment, but yes, go check the record. And that's the only thing you should check. And burn everything else of Erick Sermon's.
All right, I'm going to cheat. I have two, because someone was going to say one of mine in one of the group chats we had, and then that person rescinded the selection. So I got to select it, but
I wasn't a part of any group chats.
Okay, well, we have our own separate fucking group chat, buddy. Relax. we got our own shit. My honorable mention, this album, if my goal is to one day do a producer album, but only in the style of this album. So my honorable mention is the P Brothers, The Gas. And this is fucking amazing because the only rappers on this album are Rock Marcy, Milano Constantine, who I love.
That's your man.
And then this group Money Boss Players.
Yeah.
And they all appear with solo songs multiple times. And then all the songs they don't appear on are just instrumentals. There's like 2 or 3 instrumentals. So P Brothers are like a super grimy hip hop production group from England, and this album came out in 2008. It's fucking incredible. It is like, it really was like that precursor to keep me still salivating for Rock Marcy way before Marsburg dropped, because he did like 3 joints on this album solo, just fucking wrecking shit. And same thing with Milano. I was a giant Milano fan from DITC. He vanished and then popped back up on this. So if no one's heard the P Brothers record, The Gas, you gotta come fuck with this. My other real one real quick, I just thought of last minute because I've been playing his music all week, is Timbaland's album, Live from the Basement. Lobster and Scrimp with Jay-Z. It's got Luda on there, Twista, Genuine, Playa's on that album.
How many songs is Magoo on?
Magoo he's only on one. He's only on one song. I was actually playing. You'll love this, Castro. When I was on the train from Jersey City to Steel Tip Dove Spot last week, I was listening to the Timbaland and Magoo's 3rd album, Under Construction 2, with Cop That Shit with Missy. DJs in the mix, show you want to hear the stereo, Cop That Shit. But yeah, that's not this
I'm
album.
more familiar with their first piece. Sorry.
Okay. That album's crazy too. But Tim's bio is like, Aaliyah's on there, Mad Skills is on there. It's got a lot of heavy hitters. What's his name? Kelly Price is on this shit. It's some good shit. But anyway, my number one, I wasn't anticipating on having this slot open, but it is DJ Muggs, Soul Assassins.
Soul Assassins 1?
Yes. Soul Assassins 1 still right now, amongst all the other shit he's done, he's put a lot of great records out in his career. I still think it's the best thing he's ever made, like without a question. Because it's like, the mood of that record, like it's the only one where it's like he's got, Dre, Be Real, Goody Mob, RZA Jizza is on the record, a lot of dark with Devil in a Blue Dress, MC8, KRS, Mobb Deep,
Wyclef.
Wyclef song's amazing.
It's amazing, John
3:16. What do you mean, John 3:16? Well, God so loved the world, every man peck the M16. That song ain't about shit, but it's so good. What do you mean? What do you mean? That shit is amazing. Decisions with Goody Mob, like that would have been one of the best Goody Mob songs on any of their albums.
Oh yeah, I love that decisions
to make. And then
Jizza and
RZA Third World, that's crazy. But Arm & Hammer sampled decisions on Half Measures on the song The Good Die Mostly Over Bullshit.
Yep.
They sample decisions.
Nothing but the
good.
Yo,
CeeLo fucking snaps.
Oh my God. Spaz-ola.
He goes like at least 50 bars. He snaps on that shit. I just love that record too, because not a lot of people know about it, even though the first song had like Dre and Be Real and there was a video. It was just kind of like a record. If you grabbed it back then, you just kind of knew what was up. And if you met someone else who knew of that record, most people didn't. It meant a lot, you know what I mean? Because it just wasn't, you didn't hear it playing out at cars or anything like that. It wasn't on like a lot of mix shows or mixtapes. I think the video for like Third World with RZA and Jizza got like a little bit of play, you know, because Wu-Tang was massive. But I did remember someone like asked them about, and it ties back into what Griff said about like giving rappers the beats and they picked them, where the RZA and Jizza song Third World and then the Mobb Deep song It Could Happen to You. Someone asked Muggs like, these sound like a Wu-Tang beat and a Mobb Deep beat. Why did you do that? And he was like, I actually played the quote unquote Wu-Tang beat for Mobb Deep and they didn't want it. I played them the beat they picked. They made a song out of it. You say it sounds like a Mobb Deep beat. And then when RZA and Jizza heard the Wu-Tang sounding beat, they picked that shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't like an agenda to be like, oh, I made a RZA beat for RZA and Jizza. Like it was just the shit they happen to like. And it sounds, I mean, all these guys are like at their fucking peak when they hop on this shit. So yeah, Soul Assassins 2, pretty disappointing. It's not.
So
it's not the best.
Common theme here of volume 2s of producer albums not being as well received.
Well, you know what it is too? I'm realizing the more I think about it, it's like we all know. I said this to Castro years ago too, but it applies to this. Like your projects, whatever you're working on, is kind of like your Rolodex at the moment. So like, who are you historically cool with that you could always fuck with, and then who is like your new rap buddies that you want to like pull in and do shit. And with these production records, it's like Pete Rock Soul Survivor 2. He has like that dude Posta Boy from like 106 in Park.
Yeah,
he was a song
rapper.
Sucks.
Yeah.
He's got like.
How did Posta Boy get? He made it on the battling, right?
Yeah, one of them joints.
Yeah,
but
he was a battler. He was one of the battlers that made it.
Yeah, like that song. I mean, and then he has like Dead Prez as a lead single, but it's not like no one really cared. But they kept trying to push that single off Soul Survivor 2. It's just like. It's strange, but in 1998, when he made Soul Survivor 1, he's around like every Loud Records dude who's amazing in that moment. Whereas like part 2, he has like Black Ice on there, and he has a little brother, and he's got like Leela James, who's cool, but like Quali and CL Smooth in a song. It's weird, like it's just strange. So it's like where you're catching people in their career, you know, if they're kind of washed or not good enough yet, versus like I think all the ones we picked is like. The producer is getting people at the right time in the rappers' careers. You know what I mean? And they just have like ill beats. Mm-hmm. That's kind of hitting people versus like, you know, if Griff got like for Fireside Chats, like some super fucking wash guys, you'd be like, oh, the beats are good, but god damn, this shit is painful.
God damn, did you really need to have a song with K Solo?
Spell it out.
All respect to the K Solo.
SIDE.
Spell it out. HELLNO. Hell no.
With my man GRIFF from CHICAGO.
Oh my god.
He is SOWASHED.
Oh my god. Yeah,
There's nothing enjoyable about that shit.
Oh my god.
SUPERSUS.
Why do I gotta write this shit out?
Like you're waiting for them to get to the last 3 letters of the word so you can figure out what the hell is he saying.
Like, did he say
it's also
E
like
or
the
T?
Easiest rhyme ever because it's just like BTE.
But like commotion is like 3 bars. COMMOTION. Oh, commotion.
Yeah, I don't like that. The only other thing I hate more than that, which stresses me out, is like the like it's not even like it wasn't used a lot in rap, but there was like a pocket where like Lauryn Hill and Jill Scott would do like education, meditation, relaxation, vindication, syndication.
Yes, TION words.
And I was like, stop saying that. Like, it makes me fucking
we
angry.
could just be
Black
silent.
Thought was heavy on that on Philadelphia Half-Life too, though. He was doing that.
But he would bend it. He would be
with
like,
the nation,
like, catch me on a situation. Yeah, a situation.
Sean.
You know what I mean? Whereas
that's
like,
the only saving grace because he would flip it. But
yeah,
definitely
he would, like, bend it. But the rest of them,
Cannabis,
like,
your man
Hill,
Cannabis was good with that.
Lauryn Hill did that so much too on that album. I'm
on
like,
what? On what?
On
Miseducation?
fucking, yeah. She would do the education, meditation, visitation, syndication, oxidation, all that. I'm like, all right, man, I get it. You're fucking pretty literate out here. I get it. I understand. You don't need to keep hitting me with the Asians liquidation.
Using those $5 words.
Oh my god, damn! Stop. Like, think of something else. There's no swag to it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
No swag to the Asians.
No swag.
I'm making a t-shirt. No swag to the Asians.
No swag to the Asians. But shout out to the Haitians.
I might get arrested for COVID-19 hate crime bills. But anyway.
It depends on how you spell it. Yeah.
Right. And how I pronounce it.
Well, how about this? Before we wrap up, I just want to, we haven't done this in a long time, and Griff's a really good friend, and he's been plugging the record so well, and we love him. We're proud of him. What with this? What have you guys been watching or listening to? We haven't done this in forever.
Okay.
Man, can I throw out like 2 or 3 quick hits?
Sure, hit them.
We may have overlooked. Alchemist, First Infantry.
I was looking at that one and I was just like,
it's got some duds on it, but
it's got some duds.
I think the heat outweighs the duds. Like, the heat is good enough. I think I was gonna say Clones by the Neptunes, which definitely has some duds on it, but
Hot Damn and
Light Your Ass on Fire,
yeah.
Blaze of Glory.
Yes.
There's definitely some heat on there. Again, that was like another album that they probably just put too many songs on.
It's just way too many things happen on that record. Yeah.
The Shining J Dilla, which I kind of excluded because it was done posthumous.
I love it. It's a great record,
but it's fucking good.
It's so good.
Like, and what else did I have? I think it goes without saying, In Control Volume 1, Marley Marl.
Yeah, that was the one, like, rest in peace, Combat Jack. He would always talk about that album. Yeah. The Marley Marl shit.
I mean, I think it was like, it's kind of credited as like the first producer.
It's the first
album, you know.
It's not a particularly good record though.
No, it's got the symphony on it and some other stuff.
Okay.
But
yeah, even at the time, it wasn't particularly good, other than the symphony and maybe like that Craig G song.
Wow, that's a good one. Real quick about the Clones album. You know what? I remember getting this CD because I was very excited about that record, and it had like the front and with Pharrell and Jay, but the last song is so terrible. And
Popular Thug.
Yes,
it's
Popular
awful.
Thug with Khalees and Nas. Oh, and I'm like, this Nas should never rap on Neptune's beats, fucking ever. Never. It's so bad.
Yeah, no, there's no good. I was about to say the joint with Aaliyah, but that was the Timbaland joint.
Yeah, that's a Timbo joint. Yeah, that's a good
Sorry,
call.
Virginia. Got you guys mixed up.
What have you been fucking with, Alaska?
I started watching What We Do in the Shadows again with Eloise.
Yes, not Emily.
So
there you go, Castro. There's the name.
There it is. I dropped it on you, Castro.
Ernestine.
It's not Ernestine.
Ernestine.
She's clocking out her shift at St. John's. She'll be down soon.
So yeah, we've been watching that. Black Monday came back on Showtime, which is dope.
Isn't one of the characters like in jail?
Yeah, she gets out in the first episode, but it's a Don Cheadle show.
Yeah. Oh yes, I remember saw the first episode. It was fire, but
yeah, it's dope. I started Justified.
Yeah,
like, I've been going back to old shit because I feel like I've watched everything.
Come to the Justified hive with me, Barry, and Prem.
And
Chong. I put Chong on it. He finished it. He loved it.
Did he?
Yeah, he loved it.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Like there hasn't really been all that much that I've been checking, honestly.
Yeah, and you don't listen
been going
to
back
music.
through some older shit.
You don't listen to
the Bad Batch, Castro.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
It's a bad batch.
It's a bad. Okay, I haven't watched any part of it.
Yeah, it's not really that good.
It's indeed a bad batch.
I mean, Loki comes out next week, so I can wait for that.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
Loki
what I've been watching
is
is Apple TV has a show called Calls, The show is called Calls, and it's just like you actually, it's a very audio show. You're kind of looking at like some voice lines that kind of move and animate, but that's all you're doing. You're just listening.
Okay.
15-minute episodes. Like, you know,
Nice.
if you have Apple TV, you get Apple TV subscription for free, and they have a lot of good programming. So that's one I recommend.
Fire.
And on Amazon Prime, the show Underground Railroad, just it's all the episodes are available. It's based on the book by Colston Whitehead, I think his name is.
Okay.
And it's pretty good, but I think there's something to be said about the book and the show. But I didn't read the book just yet. But my mom did, and my girl did, and so. But it was done. It looks really well. Who did it? The cat that did Moonlight. I think he directed it.
Oh shit!
Because it has that good cinematography to it. It looks amazing.
Zilla might say this, but I feel like I gotta say it. Master of None.
Fuck yeah!
It's fucking great this season.
Phenomenal. I totally agree. Totally agree. I just finished it. I was sad when it ended.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
short.
very good. Shouts to Lena Waithe.
Oh, and what I've been listening to is I went back and started checking some of my elders of mine, or like, you know, my day ones that came before me. And this is one group called 84.
Yes. Shouts to 84, Fat, Nice, and All Perp.
And they have an album that's on streaming sites called Ourselves. You could check that out. It's a dedication to the B-Boy barbecue, because what's going viral right now, I think it should be viral.
Is that
is their performance? So they do this.
Amazing.
They do this performance where they back to back and kind of rotate. It's one of the greatest,
so incredible
2-man hip hop performances I've ever seen. So go look up online. That's on my thread or whatever. Find
I saw you've been posting that.
Yo,
and then
that shit
also
is mean.
Go listen to their album Ourselves. Now they used to be Prophets of the Ghettos, but I don't know if that stuff is on streaming. But I know Ourselves is. Yeah, big up All Perp, big up Fat Nice.
Shouts to
big
Fat
up
Nice.
Black the Ninth Man.
Black the Ninth Man. Wow.
Yeah, 84.
That's some classic Philly shit. What if I just finished the Mike Tyson documentary, the Knockout.
That was good.
Woo!
That was good.
Some powerful shit. That was great. Castro,
first part one was better than part two.
Yeah, but the very, very end was like really.
Yeah, talking about just his closing up his circle.
Yeah, and then also Rosie Perez being a boxing aficionado. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, but she was
breaking down
she had
fights.
A moment she was just like you know, when Pac died, that was a friend. Not just like some celebrity or something like that. So that was interesting.
Yeah, she's got her amazing life. Yeah, I just finished Master of None. I'm about to finish MODOK. I think I have like 2-3 episodes left. So that's fun for like all the super nerdy like Marvel Easter eggs and funny shit and all the insane villains. It's on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
whatchamacallit comes out next week though. I mean, depending on when this airs. Loki.
Yeah, you said that earlier. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Loki's gonna be the shit. And then I just really been playing and Pray for Haiti. I've been playing Pray for Haiti a lot.
I like that a whole lot more than I expected to like it.
Me too.
It's really fucking good.
It's fire. It's just like whew.
Also released the same day, besides Fireside Chats, was the homie Ace Cannons put out an album. Sincerely Cannons.
I gotta peep him. That's fire. I like.
I've been listening to that a lot. Not just because he's a homie. The homie factor got the first listen, and then the fact that it's really good got multiple listens after that. And I'm still listening to also family music. King Mighty 2.
Yeah, that shit is tough, dude.
Right?
Healthy. Yes.
Like, yeah. I went back to Terror Management.
It's heavy.
It might be my favorite Woods related project.
Okay.
But that changes minute by minute. But but that's where I've been at a lot. I don't really watch anything currently.
But
I will when Loki drops. I'll drop everything and watch that for sure.
My wife and I just we just watched
MCU or Star Wars. I jump on immediately.
Good for you.
But basically everything else visually, if I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. You know.
Yeah, my wife and I just finished Mayor of Easttown, which was
Just say that shit.
Yeah, considering my wife grew up in all those every like hoagie shop they list, she's like, oh, they're okay, they're not the best. Or like, and every scene is like Wawa. And,
well,
like,
I know
talking homes. They're saying homes all the time
for the greatness that is coming out tomorrow for y'all. That's why you had to watch Mayor Easton. Isn't it like the Shore reunion or something coming out?
What, Jersey Shore?
No, the Friends reunion is coming.
No,
up.
I don't fuck with
Friends.
The Jersey Shore reunion is dropping.
The
Friends reunion is out. That's out.
I'm glad one of us knows that.
Well, they can't do the Jersey Shore reunion because Ronnie got kicked off the show for mental health. And
no, but they call it like all of them is there. Like Snooki jumps out of a cake.
Well, no,
Snooki
dropped out of the show. She quit the show.
No, I'm telling you, the thing drops back tomorrow. It's a surprise. She pops up out of a cake. I mean,
whatever, Snooki.
That should show. I thought you would be excited.
It is, but all she would do is just because she's 4'2", she would drink a glass of wine and be like a drunk, messy mom all the time because all she does is like work out and like keep having kids. So she goes on the Jersey Shore like to get a vacation from her family, but she drinks one glass of wine and she's like pissing on plants and shit. She's like way too messy. I'm like, yo, chill.
So let's be honest. The producers of the show probably slip something in those drinks just.
It's just I mean, all like Dame Dash said, reality TV is they just get you fucked up every day. You're just drinking every day and doing dumb shit, outside of your house with like hot people and chaos ensues as intended. And we've been watching the MTV The Challenge All Stars on Paramount Plus, and you're watching like 50-year-old Mark from like Road Rules 1995, Jesus. Like. He's like juiced out with like collagen lips, and he's like, the old man still got it. He's like he's built like a fucking linebacker. But then you have like other people that are like they're just like having 3 kids and like popping their ankles out when they're just walking up a hill and shit because they're just in bad shape.
It's amazing.
It's fun. It's like watching the Big 3 basketball. Like good idea. Then you watch like everyone's injured all the time because they're just old.
That's only the first couple of games.
That's only the first 4 quarters.
Quick to the defense.
That's only the first 3 quarters. When
after everybody gets warm and they get loose, then it's some good basketball. But the first 2 games is like 5-6 injuries, and they rearrange the rosters. Then we get rolling.
Yeah, did any of you watch Love, Death, and Robots?
Yes, the new 8 episodes. They should for the first season, there's like 24 episodes, and now they only dropped 8. So that's a little disappointing. But these are actually really quality.
They're really
some of the animation, it really is hard to tell that it's animation. You're like, huh? Yeah. You're like looking at it. It's like a Michael B. Jordan piece. It's really good. Yeah. And they if I'm not mistaken, they're shorter, Alaska, right? Some of these pieces are shorter.
I don't think there's anything longer than 8 minutes.
They have a great Christmas one. It's really short, but that's a great episode. Yeah. But Love, Death, and Robots. If anybody was waiting for that, that's out there too. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right.
Cool. Fire. We are finished, young men. Great show as usual.
Yeah.
Fucking most informative indie rap podcast on planet Earth.
You want to find it here. Go check out everything we suggested.
I've also been listening to a lot of early mixes with a certain very talented rapper that I've been working with.
I've heard the album. I gave Alaska some thoughts right before you hopped on.
Soon
I'm curious to know your thoughts on sequencing because I'm a bit lost. That was the comments. I don't actually even know what sequence Alaska gave you.
Alphabetical order.
Alphabetical. So
cool.
I just made my own.
I got like number 1 and number 2 and nothing beyond that. I mean, it's a lot of different ways it could go, but I'm definitely curious to hear.
Yeah. I've been fucking around with some variations, and I find like things that go well together.
Yeah,
but it's just like figuring out how to lay it all out.
Yeah, and I get caught up in producer ear. I'm like, well, the end of this beat sounds good with the beginning of this beat, but that's not always.
Yeah,
what should be driving the decision.
No.
So,
I've had a couple of bad takes
where we overthink it way too much. So
yeah, and there's still like 1 track missing, which could just once we get that.
Which one?
Throw everything else. Actually, 2 because there's the intro track that I got to record, and then the one with Sharif.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's did he say anything about that?
I told him I asked him if he could get it to me in a month because it took me like almost a year to get it to him. So I wasn't trying to rush.
Fair. We talked about it the other day. He seems very excited for it. I don't know what time frame.
I think it has potential to be real dope. I like the hook a lot.
Yeah.
I like the beat. So, and then there's one other guest appearance I'm waiting on, but I haven't told anybody about it yet, including you.
Oh, well, that's
because I just want to see if it's gonna come in. I don't want to.
Okay. Is it the one you mentioned casually to me? But
yes.
Oh, okay.
And he agreed to it.
Shut the fuck up.
Nope. Yeah. I'll tell you guys once we're off.
Bet.
Wait, we're still on? I figured we cut it off at this point. But...
I mean,
no, we didn't officially close the show.
Okay, well, some clever
and
editing.
go out and support Fireside Chats via insubordinaterecords.com, and then you can fuck with Steel's Kitchen featuring everyone here. Record.bandcamp.com. We had a hiccup with the CDs, so the hardback linen joints, they don't have the Obi strip, but the regular jewel case joints do have the Obi strip. And
no Obi strip.
No, only on the regular jewel case joint. Hardback.
You know what? Either way, you're getting a fucking collector's item. And
correct. And the hardback joints, they're almost sold out from pre-order, so they should be shipping in a couple weeks. There's been a setback with the plant overseas creating this shit, but you'll get them. The digital will be out. And there you go. All right, that wraps up this episode of Call Out Culture.
Boom.
Later.
Shablow.